Welcome, everybody out there in the internet, to the one, the only Sis and Big Pops Culture, episode 85. As always, I sound like this is 85.
That's what, yes, you sound like a
I'm
really cool radio announcer. That's
it doesn't matter if you like rock or you like blues. It's what you do with your dancing shoes. So get down and boogie woogie to the funky tunes of Sis and Big Pops Culture.
I don't know where that came from, Dad, but that excellent.
That hurt my throat. Anyway, I am Big Pops Todd Turner, also known as Mosaic Fan Art. And always with me is...
Hi, sweet friends. I am Hannah Jo, a.k.a. Sis. And together we are an adult daughter and father duo. We dive into all things geek, nerd, and fandom. Every episode is family friendly.
That's right. We are family friendly. And if you didn't know, we record this live on Facebook and it's open to anybody can watch. And sometimes we interact with the folks who chime in. Sometimes we don't. Nothing personal. Anywho, Hannah, tell everybody what we do here.
Hi, sweet friends. Okay, so as always, we're going to start with some nerd news. We're going to talk about stuff that we think is fun or that we think the other person will think is fun. And then we're going to share what we've been binging, whether that's any type of media, comics, TV, movies, books. Pops is going to share his pull list with us. If you don't know what that is, don't stressy spaghetti about it. We will explain it to you when we get there. Dad's making a face because I said stressy spaghetti.
That's very nice and spicy meatball right there.
Just stressing me out. And then we're going to chat. Usually we chat a comic book and a movie, but today we're just going to chat a comic book. We're going to talk about Do a Power Bomb from Image Comics. That's
right. So let's just hop into what's nerd news to us. That's typewriters. And they don't even have typewriters anymore. They all use computer keypads. Can you make your computer keypad make a typewriter sound?
We've talked about this. They have the bougie clickety-clackety keyboards that people pay upwards of thousands of dollars for.
Or you could just get really long nails, and when you type on them, it makes a clickety-clackety sound.
Yeah, right. Except it's awful to do that. 10 out of 10 would, 0 out of 10 would not recommend.
All right. Well, let's hop in. Nerd news to us. I've got a bunch of cool things.
Okay, I'm so glad because I have like 3.
Oh, well, I'm afraid to take yours. So why don't you go with the first one? Yeah. I want you to go surf. Let's go surf.
The Beetlejuice teaser trailer.
Yes. Did you like it? Did you see it?
I watched it. I enjoyed it.
So I'm getting the vibes that like the husband has passed.
Oh yeah. I think that he's dead.
And that's their funeral they're going to.
Yes.
And
do we think that the OG ghosties are in it?
I don't know. Like who do you mean?
I guess I could look on IMDb and
you mean Alec Baldwin and Jenna what was her name? Alec Baldwin and gosh, I used to know her name all the time. I doubt it. I do not think they're in it.
Willem Dafoe is in it.
Oh gosh. Willem Dafoe's awesome in whatever he's in.
He is. He's excellent.
Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin. I don't think so. Haven't heard that. I think that would have been announced. I think somebody would have known.
The guy, his name is Bern Gorman. Vibe with me. The 2 guys that are like obsessed with kaiju and do the kaiju stuff on Pacific Rim.
Oh, yeah. I know who you're talking about. Yeah,
The nerdy one is in it.
Yeah. Well, he was in the original, wasn't he?
Was he? Do I know nothing?
Maybe not. I don't know. No, he wasn't. He was not in the original.
He was in Pacific Rim.
Yeah, he was in Pacific Rim.
He needs to be in no other movies because he was in Pacific Rim. Is there a Pacific Rim 3?
I don't think so. No. Aww. There's a 2, and then there's the cartoon. There's an anime that came out on Netflix that I just couldn't get into.
Anyways, I watched the teaser trailer and high-key stoked.
The juice is loose.
It's literally called Beetlejuice.
I know, because you can't say it 3 times. You know what happens.
And so I'm like, they can't do a third one.
It has to end.
You can't do it because I'm not going to call it. I
I
ain't
did pause it
no.
when at the end to see Michael Keaton in the makeup again.
It was
And
funny,
it was
wasn't
just
it?
a teaser, so I don't know what it's going to
Yeah.
be like, but
Me either. I'm excited about Jenna Ortega being in it. I think that she really rounds that group out.
yeah, I get that. But I'm afraid she's going to be typecasted as this dark girl that, I mean, because Wednesday Adams,
Hmm.
but she was awesome as Wednesday.
Well, here's the thing. Shooty Pooty, what's her name? Uh uh
Yeah, you're thinking Winona Ryder.
Audrey Plaza.
Oh gosh, the girl who never smiles.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's typecasted fairly well and is doing excellent for herself.
well, that is true. There you go. Yeah, I
So
still think that the
we
character
need spooky people, Dad.
I think the character punchline in comic books now is an Audrey Plaza knockoff. I think that's exactly who she's supposed to be.
Really?
But you don't hear about her anymore.
Audrey
Anyway,
Plaza? I mean, she
speaking,
was okay. You change the subject. Go.
I did because we
Okay,
talked about
go.
Wednesday Adams. So the people who created Wednesday and also worked on Smallville are rebooting I Am Number Four.
No way.
Yeah, I liked that movie.
I mean, it was not the book.
Well, I didn't read the book.
I
There
did.
you go. Neither was the Dune movie. So there you go. I guess that
Well,
tells you.
it's yeah,
You would know. You read the book.
I
That's okay.
did. Well, it
that was
was
a bit of
the
news.
movie was a product of the early 20 teens.
I got you. Okay.
And so it was just an early 20
Like
teens.
fifth wave or fourth wave
Yeah.
and the I don't know, all the let's try to jump on the Hunger Games
On the
bandwagon.
Hunger Games bandwagon, and they like
Didn't do
Divergent
very
tried
well.
to do it,
Yes.
and they didn't even finish the movies. They didn't even finish the last book.
I have no idea.
All of this stuff, but hey, I'm not mad at that.
I know. Anyway,
Is it a
what else
TV
you got?
show or a movie?
I think it would have to be a TV show, you would think, because it's Wednesday, it was a TV show, and so is Smallville. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. They didn't really say.
Sick.
So
Okay. Have you seen the commercial for the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare?
okay, I've just seen little things about it. I haven't seen the commercial. I did see where Henry Cavill saved
Like
someone's
save
life
some dude. Yeah.
from drowning.
Wild. I'm stoked. I'm excited about that movie. I think that movie sounds so fun. The trailer looks cool. It feels very Kingsman-y.
That's what I thought.
It's
I
like
thought that too.
Kingsman meets Mission Impossible,
Okay.
which I like. The reason I bring it up is that Alan Ritchson, who's Reacher,
Yes.
is
Right.
in that film.
Oh, is he?
Yes. And he is slated to be the main guy of a sci-fi action movie called War Machine that's coming out on
Okay.
Netflix.
I saw that too. I wonder what that's about.
I have it said nothing about what it was.
Yeah. War Machine is a comic book character in Marvel. I'm wondering how they got away with that. War Machine was Rhodey. That's his character, the Iron Man. He is the other Iron Man.
They
It's
have a
called
war machine and a warmonger.
No, they have a hate monger. They do have they call them ironmongers. That was, yeah. But he was called War Machine when he took
Okay.
over as Iron Man.
Well,
Okay.
I'm not in charge of naming Netflix's stuff. You know,
Yeah.
we only have the 6 HBO execs.
that listen to our
That listen
our
to the podcast, yeah.
I almost said iPad. I don't know why. I don't know.
They listen on their iPads.
They do listen
while
on their
they sit
iPads.
and eat dinner, Dad.
Yeah, the HBO listening to their Apple products. I don't know how that would
hysterical.
work. Speaking of dinner,
Yes.
this is a good segue.
Okay.
Did you see the new SpongeBob restaurant being opened?
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. So apparently there is a SpongeBob themed restaurant opening in Sao Paulo, Brazil.
That's such a okay, cool.
But I'm
Okay.
like, okay, listen. It's like 3 floors. Like the bottom floor is a hamburger joint, like to give the full immersive Bikini Bottom experience. And it's hamburgers. It's like the Krusty Krab.
Okay. So
The
you walk in
second-
and it's do they have Krusty Krab pizza?
Well, I don't know. Oh gosh, I don't know. That's a good question.
It's the pizza for you
It
and
sits
me.
100. There's 144 people. It seats 144 people. So it's,
Big.
good size restaurant. The second floor is the Oh, what's that stupid? The Flying Dutchman Lounge,
Classic.
which is like a bar area.
That's
It seats 40. And the top floor is literally SpongeBob's house. And it is considered fine dining and seats 70. Okay. So
sorry. I'm just.
I know, but there's something for the kids. There is the Casa de Sandy, which is Sandy's house.
That'll be so fun, though.
So there's merchandise and
I
there's
want to
stuff for
know how
kids.
much
And
they paid for this. How much did they
I don't
pay
know.
for the licensing to be able to do this?
Okay. So, and apparently there is a world renowned chef named Heaven DeLahey or whatever. I don't know, who's like the head chef of this. So it's not like this is a joke. This is a real deal in Brazil, of all places, Brazil.
Cool.
I bet it costs a fortune. So,
Oh, yeah. I
and
watched.
I wonder if they
I
got I wonder if they really did get licensing
they
or if
get
they just did it because they're in a foreign country and they can get away with it.
No, they'll come at you anywhere.
Will they?
Right? Wasn't that girl who did the hats from
Oh, the
Serenity?
hats from Firefly? I think she was United States.
She was UK, I thought.
Oh, was she? That's just let her make some
Let
Jane
the lady
hats.
make the hats.
She's crocheting them all.
Let her make
handmade.
the hats.
I'd wear it. I'd look good in it.
A Jane
And
hat? You would.
Yeah.
That's really
That
cool.
song. I know. Anywho. All right. What else you got?
I watched another trailer. We were talking about the Skarsgård brothers last time that we chatted. I don't know why.
Yes. Because he was in a movie coming out and it looked weird.
The Boy Kills World movie.
Was that it?
Yeah, it's called Boy Kills World, and he can't speak.
Okay, so explain this to me. I didn't watch it.
I have no idea what it's about.
I saw a preview, but I didn't look at it.
I watched the preview. I watched the Red Band trailer because it was on Nerdy. And it is
NSFW.
Yep. It's just
I had to explain that to the ladies at work with me what that stood for. I was like, you don't know what that means? I said, that's stuff you shouldn't be watching here.
Not safe for work. It's bloody. That's all I'll say.
Gotcha. Violent.
It looks
probably has language too.
Funny. I want to watch it.
I got you.
It looks hysterical. The vibe I was getting was Suicide Squad meets the Vinyl comic.
Oh gosh, wouldn't that be awesome?
Like the Suicide Squad movie meets the vibe of the Vinyl comic.
That color, that type of thing.
It's like color and like weird stuff,
psychedelic stuff happening.
Like random people that are like strange, and you're like, who are you? Why are you here?
I watched a trailer, and I didn't put this down to talk about it, called The Monkey Man. Did you see that with Dave Patel?
The Monkey Man.
Okay, so we're going to pause the podcast. We're not going to pause the podcast. We're going to keep going with the podcast. But one of the people in our chat just happens to be my wife.
Hi, sweet mama.
And tomorrow is Sis's birthday.
Yay, 29. It's my
last
Schmidt
year
birthday.
In the 20s. You're what?
29. Schmidt.
I know
from New Girl. That's what he says. He says 20. That's how he says.
It's one 29. Of your prime birthdays because it's a prime number.
Yeah, prime birthday. But yes, I did receive them, and I will FaceTime you tomorrow when I open them.
All right, sounds
Thank
great.
you, Mama. My dear sweet mama sent me presents to my house.
She did, directly to your house, and paid for extra shipping.
Oh,
anywho,
that's so sweet.
Anywho,
thank you.
That's what were we talking about? Oh, the Monkey Man.
Yeah, I wrote down the Monkey Man. I don't know what it's about or who it is.
Dave Patel is from Slumdog Millionaire.
Yeah.
He was also The Lion, I believe, was a movie. Anyway, he was the person I wanted to be.
You wanted him to be Mr. Fantastic.
Reed Richards, yes. And it's not. It's going to be The Mandalorian. He's oversaturating the world with off his
That's
stuff.
fine. Let it, I mean, yeah.
But anyway, it looked awesome too. You should watch a trailer for that.
I didn't know they had a trailer for it.
Choppy. It's an action.
It's an action film. Yeah. He was in The Green Knight. That movie looked cool.
I never saw it.
I didn't watch it, but it looked cool.
How do you know it's cool?
I watched the trailer multiple times.
Do you know how many people come here just to get their opinions on movies, and we're telling them it's cool and we've never seen it?
I said it looks cool.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So the two people who come here for our
I don't know
witty
if it
repartee.
actually is cool or not. I also never watched Slumdog Millionaire.
Oh, it's great. It's hard to watch though.
I know
It's
that
an
movie came
amazing
out
movie.
right when I was like starting to be allowed to watch
Gotcha.
R-rated movies. No, it
Hey,
didn't. It came out in like the
it came out
2000s.
before that, I thought.
Yeah, it
Anyway.
came out in 2008. I wasn't watching R-rated movies until
hmm
much later than that because I watched Pretty Woman and then got me and Miriam in trouble.
Okay, so yeah, that's rough. Goodness gracious. Hey, so I know you speak a little French or did.
Un petit peu.
What does folie à deux mean? F O
Folie à
L
deux.
I E, A with a little dash over it, DEUX.
Uh, uh, two people having, oh, it's psychology. It's two people who share in a delusion.
Oh, do you know what? That's the name of the new Joker movie. Very cool name, huh? Yes, it's called
Interesting.
Joker, that term. The world is a stage, and there is a poster out now for the movie.
It's, I know it's à deux, but I
A
don't know.
deux,
Is it
folie à
folie?
deux? I don't
Folie?
know.
À deux?
Yeah. Anyway, the poster looks really cool.
I'm Googling it. What is it?
Yeah,
Joker. I'm not going to watch it. Everybody needs to know that.
I'll watch it.
Okay, you can
The,
watch it.
the last Joker movie was hard to watch too.
I'm not going to watch either of them. Ooh, the poster is good.
Poster is good.
Oh, yeah, because they're doing like, it looks like a pas de deux. It looks like a dance.
Is that what that is? I
A
don't know
pas
what
de
that
deux
means.
is in ballet is when two people, like typically a man and a woman, are doing a dance. So like the
Okay,
Nutcracker pas de deux is the
gotcha.
Nutcracker and the Sugar Plum
So this is
Fairy,
folie à deux, or
which is
filet
sharing in a delusion.
sharing in a delusion, which is what they are, right?
Yeah.
Because it's Harley Quinn and the Joker.
Trevin says he wants to watch it, and you can watch it without me.
All right. Well, Trevin can be our guest on the
Those
podcast when we can talk
spooky
about it.
things that don't do it.
Here's a movie I do want us to watch and I
Okay.
want us to talk about
Okay.
when it comes out. It's going to come out May the 3rd. It's
Okay.
coming out on Netflix. It's called Unfrosted.
Unfrosted.
It is a movie written, directed, and starring Jerry Seinfeld. Has Melissa McCarthy, Jim Gaffigan, Amy Schumer, Christian Slater, Bill Burr. You just name it. These people are, it's everybody who's anybody is in. Oh, Hugh Grant. It is the story about trying to be the first people that make the Pop Tart. It's the
Okay.
battle
I mean,
between
it sounds like
Post and Kellogg's. No,
Tetris.
listen. Tony the Tiger is in it, played by Hugh Grant. Hugh Grant wears the Tony the Tiger hat. He's supposed to be Thurl Ravenscroft, just like and it's so funny.
Who
Snap,
made the
crackle, and
first Pop
pop.
Tart?
Well, Post created the toaster pastry first, but Kellogg made the Pop Tart to get out before they put it out. So Kellogg won. But this is a movie. It is
Yeah, it says
supposed to be
Kellogg's on
silly, zany, crazy movie that looks right up my alley.
I like movies like that. We really like Tetris.
I never saw it.
You should.
I heard it was good.
It's on Apple. It's excellent.
All right.
It's a little spooky
I got you.
because
I wonder how
the
much of it's
KGB's in
real.
it.
Yeah, I know it.
Beware the KGB.
Do you got nobody expects the Inquisition? Hey, do you got any more
Nobody
news?
expects Spanish Inquisition. Do you prefer the Japanese or American Godzilla?
Japanese 100%.
Okay.
Why?
There was Godzilla -1, which, did
never
you
saw
see
it.
it? You
No.
bad.
I'm gonna have to
Trevin
wait
and-
for it to come out on something.
Yeah,
just rent
Trevin
it.
and I went and saw it with his dad over Christmas, and it was
But we've had this
excellent
discussion.
movie.
We've had this
But-
discussion.
yes.
The newer Godzilla movies that they put out, not the ones now, but the three before were so dark that
You
I
couldn't see anything.
But my
Yeah.
the problem I have with my eyes, I can't see it.
Yeah.
And it takes away from it.
It's definitely because the reason I'm thinking about it is like Godzilla -1, which was a Japanese Godzilla, came out last year. And then this year they're doing another Godzilla Kong
Godzilla
movie.
Kong, which is apparently people who've seen it say it's awesome, but it's
Well,
literally like a big time. It's like a wrestle. It's like a WWE meets Godzilla.
it's fun.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just think it's interesting how different they are.
absolutely.
Like how,
Well,
like even like how they hold their body, how the head is shaped,
oh yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
the stories that they tell.
I grew up with the ones with the dude in a rubber suit, honey,
I know that you did.
and I
I'm
loved him.
spoiled. I'm spoiled.
No, that's more of a Chewbacca.
I
I can't do it.
can't
And then we had a
either.
terrible cartoon as a kid called Godzilla and Godzuki.
Godzilla and Godzuki,
Yeah,
classic.
Godzuki. Yeah, it's classic's not the word I would use for it.
I don't know. Yeah, so I just literally wrote down, do you prefer Japanese or American Godzilla?
Probably Japanese.
I think, yeah,
Hmm. And
honestly.
the ones I watched were terribly dubbed. Terribly. I
I
mean,
remember watching that black and white Godzilla movie with you where the guy gets on a plane and is like talking to himself about Godzilla and then he gets there and then there's Godzilla.
oh
And it's
yes.
literally just like he's like just like stomping on little cardboard houses.
Yes, that's true. That was like one of the yes, that was that was an Americanized version of the first Godzilla movie or whatever. They like took the
How
Godzilla movie and
rude.
then well they had the rights.
And they put an American man in
They
it.
put an American man in there, just completely
Oh,
reshot shoots and put him into the movie. Yeah,
they copied and pasted. They
that's
copied and
exactly what they
pasted a
did.
Godzilla movie.
Yeah, no
Okay, that's
kidding.
all.
Well, so they're getting ready to drop another season of Star Trek: Strange New Worlds.
And Riker did,
Jonathan Frakes
yeah.
says this is the best TV, the best thing that he has ever directed, the best show he's ever done is the episode that he's doing. And it's like a Hollywood murder mystery.
Oh, you
So,
know that that man Riker is such a
listen,
he's
I
a
still can't,
charismatic king.
I still sing the songs
I know you
from
love. How many times you watched that episode?
probably four or five times the musical episode. I think they can I mean, they got away with bringing in animated characters into the show from
I
Lower
know you
Decks.
love this TV show
It's the best Star Trek, I think, going
right
right
now.
now. Yeah, I believe
Okay,
so.
is it on? Okay, Dad, for those of you who do not know, Dad is a Voyager guy, and I'm a
Yep.
Star Trek Next Gen girl.
Right.
Um, is it on par, below, better than? Like, where would you place it in roster with OG, Star Trek Next Gen, Voyager, and Deep Space Nine?
Okay. So I don't like to rank them, first of all,
I'm
because they're
asking
they're
to.
amazing when you watch them.
Yes.
But on rewatchability, I don't know. I still am an original fan because
Yeah.
but
Are
that
you like an
has nothing to
OG
do with
OG or like a, do you prefer
I'm go- I'm
Voyager?
I'm going to say I like this better than any of the others.
Really? Better than
Yeah.
Voyager?
Better than Voyager.
Oh,
100% better than Voyager.
who are you?
I know. We'll see how it ends,
Who are you?
but
Mm.
Voyager's very serious a lot of the very, very
Well,
serious.
it's a
They do
captain's journey.
right, but
It vibes with whoever the captain is, and Janeway
I
is
think
a
this one's
serious
tough
lady.
because the captain knows how he dies.
Oh man,
He knows. He knows he's going to die. He doesn't know when, but he knows how he's going to die. So, yeah,
man.
I don't
I
know. I'm
prefer
enjoying it.
Picard. I'm a Picard girly.
I like Picard. That's fine. I didn't say I didn't like Picard,
I know. I'm just saying.
and I am not saying that Pike's my favorite captain.
Who's your favorite captain?
I would probably say Janeway's my
Would you
favorite
say
captain.
Janeway? Yeah, I know you
Probably.
like her.
But I think Strange New Worlds is I like it.
I'm so glad for
Really
you to be
good.
vibing with one.
Yeah.
That's
Anyway.
so fun. It's on Paramount.
Yeah, it's on Paramount,
Okay.
but it's not out yet. Yeah.
Yeah. Sick. I
right.
saw that and I didn't mention it because I was wondering if you would.
Oh yeah, I
I
did.
didn't write it down because I was like, I bet Dad
I
has
like
that
Star
written.
Trek.
I know you do.
All right. Hannah, what are you binging?
Okay, honestly, not a lot.
Me either.
Honestly, not a lot. You know this, dear sweet listeners who hang out with us on episode 85. My guess is you know this about me by now. I am not a sports girly. That is not my bread and butter. I married into a sports family. And if mom's watching, I love you. I'm so sorry. I know that you wish that I loved sports when I lived with you. But we've been watching a lot of basketball.
Yep,
We've
it's
been
been good.
watching a lot of basketball so that I can sit
There's
there and cross stitch.
none on tonight.
There's none on tonight. It's not on until
We have
Saturday,
bad weather
Sunday.
right now,
Dude,
currently.
really?
Well, I mean, not right now, but today we've had very bad weather.
No, it's been bad weather today. So lots and lots of basketball has been happening at our house. I am in third place in the bracket.
Very good. Well done. I'm going to say right now, Hannah had UConn, Alabama in her Final Four, and she also had
Duke,
Duke
Tennessee.
and Tennessee. I hate Duke because I'm a Kentucky fan, and you can't like Duke. I found myself rooting for Duke.
Thank you.
Just because I wanted Hannah to win.
Wanted to win my
This
bracket.
daggone
That'd be
bracket.
so fun because I
And
know
that would've been
nothing. I
so
cannot stress
fun.
enough. I don't care, and I know
I'm
nothing.
sad that Hannah's not going to win now, but
I
I'm
am
glad
too.
that Duke lost. Sorry. Sorry, my North Carolina buds.
So,
I'm going to
yeah.
be in North Carolina this
Yeah, you are.
summer, so I better
Yeah,
watch
you
out.
are.
I might have people come at me.
So other than a lot of basketball, we watched Oceans 10, 11, 12. No.
Oh.
11, 12, 13.
11, 12, 13.
We watched Oceans 11, Oceans 12, Oceans 13.
Are you going to watch Ocean's 8?
I think that we will watch Ocean's 8. I've
liked
seen it. Trevin hasn't seen it.
Mm-hmm.
But we
Girl
wanted
power.
to watch the OGs
Yeah.
because they are very good. We decided that Ocean's 13 is the best.
I think it hits yeah, I could see that. The first one, I really love the first one, but you're right.
The first one
them
is
going back to get get back at the guy, and then you think the other dude stole all the gems, and
he didn't.
He
And then
didn't.
the boys in literally causing a strike just for
yes, that's so funny.
That's the best subplot of that entire movie
Yes,
is them
that's
just
good.
wanting air conditioning at this dice factory.
Yeah,
That's
and it was
iconic.
cost like pennies.
Yeah, he's like, we'll write a check.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's funny.
So yeah, I like those movies. The second one, I think I'd rank them 13, 11, 12.
Okay,
That's how I'd
I can
rank
see
them.
that. Yeah, I got that. I agree with that ranking.
Yeah. So they're just fun movies. They're long.
Yeah, they're long.
They're long. And we realized that, man, it has an orange filter on top of it.
I don't know what that means.
It is.
What's orange filter mean?
You are watching it and it's orange.
What does that
Everything
mean?
is warm.
Oh, yes.
It's just
sepia
orange.
tone orange. I got that.
It's
Now I
orange.
understand. Yeah.
We watched episode 1 of Quiet on Set, which is the new HBO Nickelodeon documentary about alleged abuse that people experienced in the early 2000s,
Oh, okay.
like Amanda Show and stuff like that.
Oh, yes, I saw that. Mm-hmm.
So we just watched episode 1, but I think that we'll keep watching that.
Okay.
The thing that I learned over the past couple of weeks is that if you read over 3,300 pages on Kindle Unlimited, you cost Amazon money.
Really?
And that is my new favorite piece of information.
That's a goal.
It is my life goal monthly to cost Amazon probably what's actually pennies, but still I'm costing them money with my Kindle Unlimited subscription.
Listen, I could do it with comics. That'd be
read 3,000 over 3,300 pages because the authors
so that would
get
be
paid per
300
page.
comics.
Yeah.
Less than 300 comics because they're right at 38 pages, but I could do it 100%.
That's my new life goal.
That's funny.
And
Good. You can do it. I have faith in you.
I meet it weekly. I meet it monthly, ladies and gentlemen.
Awesome.
It's my new favorite thing.
Awesome.
So
Well,
I just need you to know that.
I have been.
And
go ahead.
the
I'm sorry.
Hoopla graphic audio books. I like those.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Okay, I'm
Hit them
done.
while you can. I have been rewatching all the X-Men movies.
Really? I really like those.
I started with
I like
Days of
those
Future
a lot.
Past and then went back to watch X-Men 1, which was the first movie I ever downloaded a trailer for. It took 5 hours
That's hysterical.
on dial up for a 2 minute trailer. And
So
now
you're
it
watching
takes,
X1, X2, X3.
well, no, that is not the way I've done it.
You in
I,
Days of Future Past,
hold on.
X1. Okay.
First, I watched Deadpool. Then I watched
Classic.
Days of Future Past. Then I
Yes.
watched X1. And then I went straight to the dumpster fire Wolverine Origins. And that's where I am currently on Wolverine
Gambit,
Origins. Yeah.
Gambit, and Deadpool.
Yeah. And the Blob. Yeah.
Um,
So
I think. Okay, I think
what?
is X2 the one where they get everyone out of the house?
No, that is, you're thinking, no, X2 is the original cast. The one where they get everyone out of the house is the second X-Men movie
No, I'm not
with,
talking about the sweet dreams are made of this. I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about the one where Wolverine, Hugh Jackman, is helping everyone, and
oh,
the
yes,
Colossus turns into
yes,
metal, and then is like,
yes,
"I'll help you," and he's like,
yes.
"No, the children." And I was like, "That was the lamest use of
Yeah,
his power
that is
ever."
that is that one. That
That's the
is
second
that
one.
one.
That's my
Yeah, this is
favorite.
the second one. Yeah. It's a good one because that shows the origin of Wolverine a lot. And then Jean Grey dies at the end, you think. The coolest part of that is
Dies.
Alan Cummins as Nightcrawler
Oh,
in
sick.
that. Yeah, that's great.
It
So
was,
I've been doing
yeah,
that.
it's beautiful
Go
and
ahead.
sad. Him
I
as
know.
Nightcrawler.
I like Nightcrawler.
Aw.
Um, your mom and I started watching Band of Brothers,
What's that?
which is on Netflix. It is a um, historical fiction series that has been out for a long time. It is about World War II. Each episode starts out with real people from World War II
Oh,
talking
cool.
about what they did and how they became and what went on. And then it goes into a historical fiction, a show about that.
Cool.
And the one we just watched, we just started, and we'll continue watching. It is in for mature. It's on
Mm.
Netflix, and all the X-Men movies are on Disney
Disney?
Plus. But
Yeah.
it was really good. It was about these guys going through basic training to be part of the airborne to be airdropped into Normandy on D-Day.
Dang.
Yeah, and David Schwimmer from Friends was a turd muffin in it. He was like one of the head people training him, but he was terrible as a
Like he was a
military
bad
man.
actor or he was a mean
No,
person?
he was great. He did great acting in it, but he wasn't a good leader at all.
Hmm.
Like he was wrong, and he would go to places that were wrong. And
Hmm.
our friends in the chat are saying that it's phenomenal, and you should read the book. I have not read the book, but it is by I think Matt says it's Arthur Ambrose. But yeah, we really really liked it.
Hmm.
It just makes me think of my grandma and my grandpa. I mean, my
Oh,
grandpa.
yeah. Grandpa Huff and Hap.
And what else have I been binging? Oh, this week before the previous week was Holy Week.
Did you watch all of Chosen?
I did not watch The Chosen, but I listened to Jesus Christ Superstar on repeat.
You're my
And
dad.
and
I love. Which one did you listen to the 20th anniversary London cast recording? Because that's the only one that's worth listening to.
it's well, the only one worth listening to is the one that I own,
Which is the
which is the
20th anniversary.
original.
You own the original? I thought do I have a record of it too?
We have two. I have two
Okay,
copies.
good. One
so
of them is
maybe-
mine.
Yeah, I have the OG. It was my dad's.
Jesus
It even comes with the
booklet.
the book with the words. Yes, and the lead, I think Judas or Jesus was Ian. What's face from Blue Oyster Cult. Anyway, yeah, I've listened to that over and over and over again. And actually, what day was it? I think it was last Wednesday. I got so sad
Mm.
because I just thought about my dad. you know.
Mm.
And I thought, you know what? This is going to happen when I pass. Hannah's going to listen to that and she's
I'm
going to
gonna
think about
just
me. I know that's what I was doing
don't know
out there
what's
mowing
gonna.
grass, going, I love my dad.
We so
Like Caiaphas, go get
he's
the
right
Roman
outside. He's
gods.
right outside. No
No,
wait.
wait. We need a more
We
permanent
need
solution to
to
our
our
problem.
problem.
Anyway,
What?
yeah,
We could just go and
I
we'll just go
know.
back and forth and sing the songs. We'll just do all the different voices and that will be the rest of the podcast.
There you go. So, yeah, I
Kevin
did
had
that.
never listened to it.
I know. Well, some people think it's sacrilegious. And
I think it's cool.
I think parts of it are great, parts of it aren't.
Are
And I
silly.
think you have to know how,
Well,
being,
the thing that was killing me is so um we do mass and a non-denominational church.
Mhm.
And mass at Palm Sunday is always a very, very long reading
Oh, yeah.
from Monday, Thursday through the crucifixion. And so and then it's like call and response. And so like the
Yep.
congregation is like saying like crucify him and stuff like that. And so I just got the trial and 39 lashes stuck in my head and
Oh,
like
gosh.
was
Yeah.
silently crying to
I know.
myself.
That's a tough one.
And I was like, oh man. And then had to listen to it and did the
Yeah.
voices for Trevin.
Well, on another note,
Okay. Sorry.
I am now re-binging my audiobook of Dune
Oh, classic.
just so I can go back and gripe about how I thought the movie
Ah,
missed parts. But anyway, that's it.
okay.
That's all I'm doing.
I
Yeah.
forgot that I've been watching the Eras tour as well.
Oh,
I've
your
been
mom
the
wants to
Taylor
watch
Swift
that.
Eras tour. Mom wants to watch that?
Yeah. It's on Disney.
It's on Disney Plus.
Mhm.
Trevin got me a walking pad. And so
Oh, yeah.
I've been walking on it and singing to Taylor Swift.
That's hilarious.
And we only have Disney Plus on the TV in our bedroom because the TV in our bedroom is the TV that I had when I lived by myself, and it has your Disney Plus on it.
That's all right. Keep using it while you can.
Thanks, Pops.
Until they say no.
Until they say get off.
All right.
And so I'm like, the TV is right next to Trevin's little office space where he sits and plays video games.
Mhm.
And I'm like singing at the top of my lungs,
Nice.
like, go girl. And then I
He
get
needs to put
off, and then
some on.
Trevin's like, sounded
You were a
good,
little loud.
Han. LOL.
All right. Hey, pull
Comic
list.
books.
Explain to people what we're doing now.
Okay, dear sweet friends, Pops is going to share with us his pull list. A pull list, if you don't know, is a list that you give the proprietors of your local comic book shop of the different comics that you were collecting. And so what they do is they pull from their inventory the comics that you've selected, or sometimes even ensure that they order the comics that you're collecting. That way, you have a stack of comics and you don't miss an issue when you're collecting something. So, what Dad is going to do for us is he's going to share with us 5 comics. He's going to share with us a comic from Marvel, a comic from DC. He's going to share with us a comic from an independent sort of comic book place like Image or Dark Horse or Boom Studios or something like that. IDW, did they get dissolved?
No, they're still around.
They're still around. And he's going to share with us a new number 1. So if you have never collected comic books in your life and going into a comic book shop is spooky and scary, you can go in, ask for this specific comic book, and it will be a first issue. And you can start your pull list with this first issue and a book of the week,
Book of the week.
which is his most favoriteest book
I know.
that he pulled from the week.
So I'm going to hop in here, and I've mentioned probably almost all these books before. But
Okay, I love when you do that though.
Okay, so my DC book is Wonder Woman issue 7. So they rebooted Wonder Woman. I think it's like, I don't know what legacy number. It's probably like 9,782,322. But
I'm not writing that down.
I know. So this Wonder Woman right now is in the midst of all of the Amazonians have been classified as enemies of the state and either taken into custody, children
Yikes.
taken from their custody, thrown out of the United States, and Wonder Woman is now like number 1 on the hit list of this government agency or whatever.
They're trying to get her.
Yes. But this issue takes Wonder Woman meets Superman at some space mall.
Okay.
It's like an asteroid or someplace way off in who knows what wherever, and they meet there to buy Bruce Wayne a birthday gift. And that's what this is. It is
That's
it is
precious.
it is Superman, Clark Kent, and Wonder Woman talking with one another, and him basically trying to just subtly go, I want to help you. We want to help you. And then it's very subtle throughout the whole entire book while they go and they try to say, what should we get him? And, at one point, Superman's like, well, he likes big coins. Maybe we could give him like a big quarter, or something like that. Cause he's, you know, it's fun. It's fun because they talk about their relationship with one another and how he wants to help her and how she's like, no, I have to do this on my own. Appreciate it. And then they talk about what Bruce wouldn't like, doesn't like, and she's like, why don't you just, Clark's like, why don't we just get a bunch of coal and just crush it into a diamond? And he goes, he's a bazillionaire. And he goes, well, he's not really anymore. And so what they end up doing, it's cute because of that, but it's neat that
Taking a break.
it's not really a break, but the way, Zardasky, Chip again,
You love
no,
Chip.
King, no, this is King. This is Tom King.
Okay.
I love Tom King. Yeah. No,
Yes.
Zardasky's my next book. The way Tom King makes Superman so nice, but gentle and wanting to help. And it's just woven in.
It's tender.
It's very good. It's a tender book, very tender. They end up just taking a picture of themselves in one of those little things. It takes like 4 pictures,
And that's his
like sticking
present.
tongues out, and they leave him that, and they do leave him a diamond. And then Batman takes that diamond and gives it to an orphanage. So that's the end. But anyway, it's really good. It was a little bit of a reprieve from all the
Sometimes you
tough
need a
stuff going on,
break.
but it still touched on it because a lot of the people in the comic book world is like, listen, how does this happen? And like the Justice League doesn't step in and say, this ain't right. So this sort of addressed that.
Gotcha.
Right. So
Which,
what?
yeah. That's the thing that's hard about comic books because you want to have a spot that has lets a character shine, but that from
They're
history.
in continuity. Yeah.
Like all of these, this is nonsense.
Yeah. Like you're going to do this to my friend and Superman and Batman's not going to stand
Not
up
going
and
to be
say,
like, excuse you, go back.
so
Try
they
again.
address it. Yeah.
That's smart.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So my Marvel book is Daredevil issue 7.
You are loving Daredevil.
Actually, when this rebooted, it's a new creative team. I didn't like it the first couple issues. They made him a priest, and I thought they were
Excuse
using
me, what?
Yeah, Matt is now, Daredevil is now a priest. Matt Murdock. He died at the end of his last one, and we thought he died because he went to hell to go save the souls of people or whatever.
Okay.
And now we just jump ahead and now he's back. He's not dead and he's a priest. But what's happened is he is having to fight his, they're called the 7 deadly sins, which really aren't in the Bible. We just call them, it's like gluttony, lust, wrath,
Sloth.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff. So, he is having to battle that within himself, but they are manifesting in another superhero that knows him.
Gross.
Like he has to fight, like She-Hulk was the representation of gluttony. And
She's
this is him against Wolverine.
Oh, sick.
Which you think is wrath, but he comes to realize it's not, it's lust. His lust for vengeance and lust for is what, and he has to address that. And they are using scripture in the right places.
Well, hey, Daredevil's Catholic.
But I don't know who the guy is who's writing this, but he started out not doing that well. It was it was like scripture completely out of text and inappropriately used, but they're nailing it now. So
I wonder if they got help.
They may.
If somebody said, this is garbage.
They might have.
Help him.
Honestly.
Help him.
So I think he still has Wrath. He's got two or three left, and Elektra shows up at the end.
Uh-oh.
So, but yeah, yeah. So that's pretty cool. Um,
Sick.
my independent is from Dark Horse.
Okay.
It is called Black Hammer: The End.
Okay. Black Hammer?
Black Hammer. So Black Hammer is a superhero, very much like the Superman of their comic book world. The
Love.
Black Hammer universe was created in the early 2000s, and it was basically a way for this writer to address superheroes the way he thought they could be, but couldn't be done in mainstream comics.
Okay.
So he took characters that were like Superman, Batman, all these, changed their names, gave them slightly different stuff, and put them in. I mean,
And like bad situations.
well, not bad situations, just stuff that they would never do. Okay, so this is a mini series. This is the last issue, issue 6, 1 through 6, and it is. I thought this is going to be the end of the Black Hammer universe. Like this is him saying, "I'm done doing the Black Hammer universe," and it could be.
Okay.
It is like a huge. DC did a thing called Infinite Crisis.
Yeah, and then Crisis on Infinite Earth and
Crisis on Infinite Earth. That's what I meant. Crisis on Infinite Earth. So this has very similar vibe to that, where all the worlds then are come at the end. There's a good happy wrap up. It wraps it all up, and they're battling a creature very much like a cross between Galactus and Darkseid.
gotcha. Okay.
So it seems so, and yeah, it was really good. And
Does it
if it's
have
the
an
end,
issue number other than the end?
no, the Black Hammer books came out like they did Black Hammer 1 through 13, and then they did like Barbarian, which is one of the characters
Okay.
they did, and then this Black
Okay.
Hammer.
So this
the
is just
end.
called Black Hammer the End.
Correct. Yeah,
Okay.
miniseries just ended. All right. So my new number one
Woo!
is a DC book, and I can't believe I got suckered into it, but it's called Batman Dark Age.
How many Batman comics do you
Titles are on
collect?
it. Too many. Well, I took like 6 books off my list, 7
I know
books
you
off
did.
my list.
Batman Dark Age?
Yeah,
Okay.
I took more off. I took Local Man off, which I loved. I've
You
talked
took
so good
Local
about
Man
it.
off?
It's just gotten too
Weird.
adulty,
Oh,
and I was like, I don't
they
want that.
love to do that.
I didn't want it anymore. So, Batman Dark Age is interesting. It's by a writer whose name is Mark Russell. He does some really cool stuff. It's an alternate look at Batman, how he came to be, and so it's like a different start. It's going to have a different ending, and
Cool.
it's a great place to get started. And it's a little bit of a like an Elseworlds type book, so it's not a continuity book. Yeah.
Right on.
And my book of the week.
Book of the week. It's the book of the week. Tell
Some
us,
people would
Pops,
say this is a
what's your book
stupid
of the
choice, but I don't
week?
care because it's my choice.
Um,
And we're
there are
gonna
no
say-
such things.
It's Fantastic Four issue 18.
You love Fantastic Four.
I do, but this is the deal. So, do you know Sue and Reed have a son,
Yes.
Franklin,
Yes.
who is supposed to be the most powerful,
And they like hide his powers or they take his powers or something happens.
right? So he's powerless now.
Yeah.
Yes. He's basically a mutant, right?
Yeah.
So he had used his powers up and now doesn't have any powers. 0. That's not true.
I was going to say he's got a little something, something.
No, he has all of his powers.
Oh my God. He's been
He
lying.
has- He doesn't lie. What he does is he has set himself to one day a year, becomes aware of what he can do.
Oh.
So this is this issue. He like comes awake and he becomes that all powerful creature, all powerful person, and he looks at the future and what's going to happen, and like he foresees this terrible thing that's going to happen. He foresees this invisible asteroid thing that's going to happen, and he then just slightly nudges one little thing so that it misses Earth, and then goes back to sleep. And when he wakes up, he forgets he did anything, and for another year, and then so he has done that to himself because he has the power to do that. very Spock-like. But there is another creature, another person who sees him do that and is like, oh no. And he pushes it back. So then, because he foresees if this happens, like so much of the world dies, so many of the Fantastic Four die, blah, blah, blah. So, but what happens is,
Does he remember?
no, he doesn't remember, but the outcome is different than what he saw the outcome to become.
Because he changed it and then someone changed it again.
But the Fantastic Four then have to work together to solve this problem, and they utilize their powers in ways they've never been used before. So they like the Invisible Woman uses her powers with the Human Torch in combination. They could do something that they couldn't do by themselves.
Okay.
So they're like combining their powers to do a brand new power set.
Okay, sick.
Which is really cool. And that's how they solve it. And they're like, oh, yay. But that's creepy because this guy is watching them. We don't know who this guy is.
Yeah, we don't like that.
Not even creepier than that is that S.H.I.E.L.D. is cataloging all the stuff that the Fantastic Four are doing because they think they're possibly, they could destroy the world or whatever because pretty much
because
almost
they could.
can. And they have a list of things that they had already thought they could do, but they haven't done yet. Like they have files on them. And that's at the very end. So
pass. Okay, when I was a small one, and I made like fake comic books.
I have them still.
I know that you do, but I had one. I don't know if I gave you, and I made a comic book of all of the Fantastic Four had children.
Oh,
and it was like their parents get sucked into like this vortex, and the children have to like get their parents back.
Well,
using their powers.
They can.
And
they have a son and a daughter.
There was the girl that I had created that was Sue and Reed's daughter. I called her Evie because she could do everything.
That's funny. That's pretty much
I would like it to be Franklin. I'd like it to be noted that somewhere there is an egg-shaped journal where I wrote about this happening and I win. Well, I'm a fortune teller and I'm not a fortune teller. I knew when I was 8, ladies and gentlemen.
What happened. Yeah. So, but it's Franklin instead of Evie.
Yeah. Well, it could have been Evie.
That's it, guys. Go buy comics.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Speaking of comics.
Yay!
Hannah and I read this comic called Do a Powerbomb. It is by Daniel Warren Johnson, who I just love.
And Mike Spicer.
And Daniel Warren Johnson, it's a 7-issue from Image. It's called, and I'm going to read you the solicit.
What's a solicit?
A solicit is something that they write up to get you to buy the book.
Okay, sick.
It says, Lana Steelrose wants to be a pro wrestler, but she's living under the shadow of her mother, the best to ever do it. Everything changes when a wrestling-obsessed necromancer asks her to join the grandest pro wrestling tournament of all time, which is also the most dangerous. It's The Wrestler Meets Dragon Ball Z in a tale where the competitors get more than they ever bargained for. How's that?
Excellent. Excellent. The last cover is the coolest cover. I'm going to show it to the people that are here. It shows all of the people that they fought with all of their different outfits and that they're standing there ready.
Okay, I just want to know, what'd you think of this?
It twisted and it turned and I literally gasped and I cried.
I know, me too.
I was sitting in a chair this morning reading the last episode, and I knew what had happened. I knew reading the last episode, LOL, reading the last issue, and I knew what had happened because these were your favorite books when they were coming out. And so you would talk about them either during Book of the Week or during your independence that you were collecting.
Yeah.
And so I knew what the final book was about because we had talked about it because the final book is epic as heck. Are we going to ruin it? Can we tell everyone?
Well, this has been out for a long time.
Okay, yeah. So the final, I knew what it was. I knew what it was because we talked about it, but reading it was different, and I just cried.
So what happens is this little girl, she's probably 7 or 8, and her mom is like the big wrestling star. And if you know wrestling, heels are the villains, the bad guys.
The bad guys. And you got to have this guy to have an interesting fight.
Right. So, and her mom is named Yua. Isn't that right? Yua Steel Rose. And the big villain is Cobra Sun. And they are fighting. And he slips, his foot slips. And he accidentally injures her mom and she dies. Yeah.
And it was like a neck. It was a spinal cord injury.
It was a spinal cord injury. And that's how the book starts. And
woof.
The dad comes and the dad is crying. And so then we fast forward about 10 to
years.
12 years where the girl's probably 18, 19 maybe.
18 to 20.
18 to 20.
Yeah.
And she wants to be a wrestler. And her uncle, her mom's brother, is a wrestler and won't train her because her dad has convinced everyone to not train her because and that in and of itself has put a strain on their relationship. They don't
communicate.
They don't communicate at all. It's really the Cobra Sun is still wrestling, and he's basically just getting beat up for money.
Yeah.
Basically, he is basically allowing himself to be beaten because you could tell
he feels like garbage. He thinks he is garbage.
He deserves it. He thinks he is garbage. The worst part of that
twist, it was like book like 3.
I think it was 2.
Was it 2? It was 2 or 3. I was like, what?
Yes, his mask comes off at the end and it's her dad. I was like, oh no. I died when I saw that. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
I did not see it coming.
I did
not see it coming. The Thing, it's book 3. I think it's book 3.
Okay.
Because they end up,
so the necromancer comes, Luna. Yeah, the sun and moon.
Yeah.
Which was cool at the end. The moon and the sun.
Luna is...
Oh, it's Lana.
Is it Lana or Luna?
Well,
I couldn't... The font was very stylized. I couldn't read some of it. She gets picked up by this necromancer who's obsessed with wrestling and is told, hey, come fight in this like tournament. And if you do, I can bring back someone.
If you win,
I can bring
somebody back to life. But it's a tag team.
And so she has to do it with Cobra Sun. And so they fight like a couple battles before he's like, I'm your dad.
Well, what happens is they pull his mask off.
And his mask, it's a luchador mask.
It's a luchador mask because his dad was a luchador.
His dad was a luchador. And so his luchador mask also has this really long black hair.
Yes.
That's connected to it. That's not his.
No, because he's bald.
It's connected. Yeah, because he's bald. He's connected to his. So he looks like a completely different person. So
what happens is the necromancer pulls people from all over the universe to wrestle. And it's like multiple matches. And in all these other places, wrestling is real.
Wrestling is real.
They don't know that wrestling is made up and fake.
They ask like, well, who's going to win? And they're like, well, we'll see who's going to win. And she's like, oh, you don't have a storyline?
And the guy's like, oh, you're hilarious.
She's like, oh no.
Yeah,
oh no.
What have we gotten into? And yes, so they fight the orangutans, two orangutans, and then they fight these other 2 people, like these knights, and you come to find out why. It's cool because you get the backstory on all the characters.
You get to learn why all of them, like who they wanted to rescue, who they wanted to see again, which is honestly like devastating because you're rooting for these 2 people to get wife and mother back.
But the other people are fighting for the one people were fighting for their warrior. They wanted to bring back the greatest warrior so that they could win the battle. And the others,
Like
one couple was
sisters
fighting
or
because they each lost someone. So they fought to win, and then they fought each other, but
to
they
see
ended up
who would
killing
win.
each other,
Yeah, goodness.
which meant that Lana and Cobra.
Lana and Cobra Sun. Okay, the thing that is excellent is that at the very end, the necromancer is like, oops, I lied to you. I can bring people back, but it's like a zombie. But here's the
I
thing.
can't do it. But here's the thing. Go ahead.
I know
Anna.
a guy.
Who loves wrestling, and he's good at it. They're like, who's this? It's God.
It's God. They wrestle God. And I really like.
Did you realize? Did you
What?
realize what the dad's name is?
Mm-mm.
I didn't. I've read this.
Is it
like
Jacob?
It is Jacob.
I could cry. I could cry.
I didn't
You're
even know
kidding.
that. I didn't
The
even
dad,
notice
it's
that.
Jacob?
The dad's name is Jacob. Yes, yes.
I was explaining the book to Trevin today because I was weeping about it this morning and about how cool it was that they wrestled God, and we were talking about it, and he had never heard that story, and I was like, well, I was like, yeah, people
when Jacob-
I think God loves to wrestle,
And he knocked Jacob's hip out of socket.
yeah, he just boop
Yeah,
wrestled,
but
Jacob wrestled with God all night long, and at the very end, God went. Bloop.
I think we all wrestle with God.
I think 100%. I think he likes it. You got to be up. You got to be up close and personal. You're in each other's business.
You are in each other's business.
Yeah, I mean, that's, yeah.
And the book ends with God going, I don't bring, we don't bring people back.
What did he say?
But what I can do is I can restore something that you've lost.
It has been many ages since a human has caused me physical pain. You fought me with all the strength you had.
Causing God pain.
They made God bleed.
We've made God bleed. And I thought that too.
I was just like,
about during the week of Holy Week, making God bleed.
It had me weeping. And I present to you the God belts as a symbol not of your victory, but of your ability to go toe to toe with me. And then the daughter says, I don't want a belt. I want my mom. And God says, I wish I could give you what you ask for, but there are no answers that will satisfy the deepest questions of all. I will not give you what you seek, but I am moved by your plight and your strength. And for that, I will open your mind to the wonder of a memory.
Yeah.
And then she was too young to, which is true. Like we have things that we experience that we're too young to remember.
Right.
And it was
her lying in bed with her mom asking, what happens when we die? And so she relieves that. And then the dad and the daughter are hugging, and the people in the crowd are clapping. And when they pan out, guess who's there clapping in the crowd?
Yeah. It's beautiful what she says. She's like, well, what's going to happen? And the mom says, actually, it might be kind of like wrestling. A lot of people think wrestling is about the outcome, the ending, predetermined. Why bother watching? But we all know where we're going eventually in the end. Eventually we die. Our outcome is always known. I guess what I'm saying is I don't think it's about the end, Lana. It's about the story and everything that is worth telling, no matter how it starts, no matter how it ends.
Yeah.
And then it's her mom in the crowd as
her mom's in the crowd. Yeah. Yes.
But when the end does happen, will you be watching me? The daughter says.
And it's not answered, but she's there. So Daniel Warren Johnson, his books are just, some of them are just so sweet.
Man.
I want you to read Murder Falcon next.
Man.
It's his book too.
Wrestling God.
Yeah. And the art is amazing. The wrestling, you can tell he loves wrestling.
He likes wrestling.
100%.
I don't know what half of these words are. Did he make up a lot of these terms, or are these like actual
the wrestling moves? The pillars of Golgotha. I don't know if they're real or not, but they sound cool.
The thing that I think is really
a bunch of them were true. He would say it went from a flying something into a DDT. Yeah, most of those are real wrestling terms.
I liked too that the I'm trying to find a good image because it was terrifying. But you don't see God's face. It's like a
No, it's a mask.
silver
Hmm.
mask. And
Yeah.
that all of the writing, all of the bubbles, all of the speech bubbles for the entire thing is white with black letters. But
Yeah.
when God speaks, it's a
It's
black
different.
bubble with white letters. I just think
Yeah. It
it was so
was well done.
cool.
Well done.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that the guy's name was Jacob.
I didn't either until this time rereading
Where
it.
did you see that?
She talks to him when they were talking about, I think she says, Jacob, take your mask off or whatever for the baby or something like that. Because when Lana's born, he comes running in, he just get undone.
Mm.
Yeah. So you get a lot of flashbacks
Ugh.
about how the husband and wife met, and you could tell they really loved each other and they loved their child, and that tragedy that happened in the ring is
Tragedy.
yeah.
It's an excellent read.
But they
There's a
changed
lot.
their names to Sun and Steel. What were they before?
Cobra San and
Yeah. Is that
Lona Lana
Yeah, but
Steel
what were they
Rose.
called
So they
for the
called
beginning?
their group name was Sun and Steel.
Sun and Steel, yeah. But then they called them Sun and Moon at the end.
Yeah.
They called them Sun and Moon. So they got it. They wrestled with God and got a new name.
Mm. Wow.
Has that ever
Almost like
happened?
it's biblical.
Does that ever happen?
Jacob to Israel.
Yeah, Peter, the Rock, Paul to Saul to Paul.
Yeah. Mm. It's man,
Abram
excellent.
to Abraham. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a good book. I would love for this is gorgeous to read.
It's
And
really pretty.
It is. And
It's
I
a
love
lot of thick, dark lines and bright colors.
Yeah, and
You
you
what,
feel
Danny?
for the characters, and you feel for the characters too.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'd give it
5 out of 5.
I'd give it 5 out of 5. I give it a 3. 1, 2, 3. No kick out. All right. Hannah, tell everybody what we do here.
Friends, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We're so glad that you spent some time with us on our little corner of the internet today. Hey, our intro music is created and performed by Brockwell Nason, my dear sweet cousin. You can check him out anywhere you listen or stream music. He is performing a lot in Nashville. If you're in the Nashville area
Yes, he
or
is.
just need something fun to do on a weeknight, check his out on his Instagram, Brockwell Nason Music, and see where he's playing in downtown Nash. Our art was made by Nate. Thanks for doing that for us, bud. Hey, he is excellent and wonderful and made our art in Microsoft Paint. So is a genius. I edit and upload our podcast,
And we have a
and
YouTube channel that is never up to date.
we love.
That's where we stand.
That's where we stand, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
we
yeah.
do it for us. So
Yeah.
yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. Next time we'll figure out what we're gonna watch
talk
and
about
read
something,
beforehand,
and
and we'll
it'll
let
be
you know.
lovely.
Maybe you can do it and join us. Until then, we will
Catch you on the
catch you on the
flippity
flippity flop.
flop. Bye, sweet
Bye, guys.
friends.